Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
So glad you're joining us again. If you've been with us, you probably remember episode 9, right? We talked about that, well, frankly, mind-bending story in Budapest. People illegally building houses on land that wasn't theirs.
Yeah, that one definitely got people talking.
It really did. And, we got so many questions basically asking, so what happened? Did they ever do anything about it?
And the answer is, well, not really comforting, is it?
Not at all. Here's the spoiler, and it's just wild.
Yeah.
So far. Absolutely nothing. No official action. Which, think about it.
It implies you could literally build a house for free in Budapest.
Exactly. It's a stunning just failure of the system to enforce its own rules. Really is.
It really is. And, while that story showed a kind of governmental inertia, I guess, today's deep dive takes us somewhere even more twisted. We're moving into a situation where it's less about lack of action and more about active, petty vengeance, kind of weaponizing systemic loopholes. And it's not happening far away. This is closer to home. Our theme today, it sort of sums it up. The crazy fence, the Hungarocell war, and pedagogue corruption.
Right. Hungarocell. I got to stop you there because I bet a lot of listeners are thinking, what? What is that?
Right. And honestly, if you don't know, that's probably a good sign. It's not common outside Eastern Europe mainly. Former Soviet bloc.
But this stuff, this Hungarocell, it's basically what, like styrofoam insulation?
Exactly. Just insulation boards. Seems harmless.
Yeah, but you're telling me this stuff is about to, completely ruin a couple's life.
Utterly. And this is the truly astonishing part. This isn't a joke. It's not some, urban legend.
No way.
It's a true story. Happening right now. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it's in a small-town American community, like maybe Arkansas.
Wow.
And the setting is, well, it's almost perfectly engineered for this kind of mess. You've got this really tight-knit community, right? The kind where everyone thinks they know everyone, reputations are everything, connections run deep. But underneath...
There's always an underneath.
Always. It's controlled by a small clique. Relatives, longtime friends. So if you're an outsider moving in, even with the best intentions, you're basically walking into a minefield.
Yeah, unwritten rules, old grudges you know nothing about.
Precisely. And our antagonists, they fit right in. There's this guy, used to be a mid-level IT manager, decent job at a big company, then lost the job, spiraled into addiction, now unemployed, and apparently just consumed by paranoia, often strung out, and dangerously bored.
Oh boy, that's a bad combination.
And his wife. She's actually a locally well-known, respected elementary school teacher, someone people trust with their kids' moral compasses,
A teacher. Okay, the contrast is stark.
It is. So our mission today really is to unpack how this absolutely bizarre situation unfolded. We need to look at the facts, sure, but also the systemic issues, the psychology, and maybe what it says about a community when trust just erodes like this.
Okay, let's dig in. How did it start? Because you mentioned this couple, our antagonists, they had a head start, right?
A significant one. Years before the new neighbors even showed up, this couple literally stole land, about 1.5 meters from the public street on one side of their property.
From the street, public land.
Public land. And then another 1.5 meters from the empty lot next door, which would eventually belong to our victims.
And nobody noticed?
Okay.
Or nobody cared? For years.
That's the key question. How did they get away with it for so long? Well, turns out, in this very small town, the person in charge of handling land issues, disputes, at the local public administration.
Oh, let me guess.
A direct relative. The deputy clerk, actually.
Wow. Okay. So nepotism right off the bat.
Textbook. It's not just a family tie. It shows how in these small governments, with less oversight, one person in a key spot can just bypass everything. Fairness, impartiality, gone. That initial land grab went completely unchallenged, set a precedent, they got away with theft.
So they already felt untouchable.
Pretty much. So then, fast forward, our unsuspecting new neighbors move in. Quiet people, doing everything by the book, building their dream house, no drama.
Just want to live their lives.
Exactly. But the ex-IT guy, bored, paranoid, maybe looking for a project. His mind starts working. He sees that 1.5 meters he stole from their lot.
And thinks, how can I make this permanent?
Bingo! He needs to make it legally his.
And the scheme he comes up with, you hinted it was wild. How does he try to legitimize stealing land?
Oh, it's something else. He uses his connection, right, the relative in public administration, and together they figure out a way to force the new neighbors to help him.
Force them? How?
They need an excuse to make the neighbors build a wall, a concrete wall, right along the edge of the land he already stole.
Okay, what's the excuse? This has got to be good.
It's ludicrous. He literally takes black potting soil, throws it under his own motorcycle.
What, his soil?
His soil. Then he claims it flowed over from the neighbor's property during construction.
Wouldn't the soil types be different?
Completely. The neighbor's soil is light brown. His evidence is jet black. It's so obviously staged, it's almost funny.
Almost. Except it's incredibly malicious.
Malicious and calculated. This wasn't just random. It was planned manipulation. But then he escalates. This is where the Hungarocell comes in.
Ah, the Styrofoam.
He literally steals brand new Styrofoam insulation boards, the Hungarocell, from the neighbor's active construction site.
Steals it directly from them.
Yep. Then he grinds it up into thousands of tiny little beads, you know, the kind that blow everywhere.
Oh, no.
And scatters it all over his own garden, piles it up near the fence line, takes photos.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
He files a complaint.
A formal complaint with his relative at City Hall, claiming the neighbors are polluting his yard with Styrofoam debris.
He created the entire problem himself and blamed them.
Textbook gaslighting, creating the evidence for the crime you're accusing someone else of.
This is weaponized bureaucracy is the perfect term. So the relative at City Hall, the clerk, what do? Ignore the mismatched soil. The fact that the wind was probably blowing the wrong way.
Ignores everything. Without hesitation, sides with the XIT guy. Total gaslighting, like you said, but on a municipal level.
So what happens to the neighbors, the victims?
They're forced to clean it up. This mess they had absolutely nothing to do with. But it gets worse.
How could it possibly get worse?
They are then compelled by the administration, thanks to the relative, to build another concrete wall to solve this fabricated pollution problem.
Another wall on their property.
Squarely on the victim's property. And guess where that wall ends up? It perfectly solidifies the theft of that 1.5 meters of land. It's now effectively walled off as part of the IT guy's yard.
Unbelievable. So he used a fake pollution complaint, facilitated by his relative, to force his neighbors to build a wall that legally seals off the land he stole from them and the public streets.
Exactly. He stole from his neighbors and from the community, using the system itself as his weapon.
And the teacher wife? Was she just standing by?
Oh, no. She was an active participant, deeply involved. And this part is really disturbing. When the neighbor, acting in good faith, first offers to clean up the Styrofoam mess, the one he didn't even make, she refuses him entry for several days. Gleefully, apparently. Just lets the staged debris pile up even more.
Why? Just to be cruel.
Seems like it. Pure spite. And when she finally allows him onto the property, she just stands there, watches him. Smug smile on her face, apparently, as this poor guy is literally on his hands and knees picking tiny Styrofoam beads out of her husband's plants.
It's just degrading, humiliating.
Totally. Eventually, they shake hands. The neighbor, bless his heart, probably thinks, okay, this nightmare is finally over.
Oh, you just know it isn't. Please tell me it gets better. No, wait, don't. Is it over?
Absolutely not. Not even close. 2 weeks later, the Styrofoam storm is back all over the place again.
He didn't. Did he do it again?
Looks like it. So the neighbor cleans it up again. This time he's so fed up, he brings an industrial vacuum, tries to get every single bead.
Thinking, surely this time.
Right. And what happens?
Don't tell me. Another mess.
Another mess. By now, the neighbor has truly had it. This third time, he comes prepared. He's got a signed agreement drafted.
Smart. Document everything.
A document stating he's cleaned it up, hoping it's proof, maybe an end to the harassment. But the XIT guy refuses to sign it at first.
Of course he does.
Apparently, it took some, let's call it persuasive body language from the neighbor to get him to finally put his name on it.
Okay, now it has to be over, right? Signed agreement.
You'd think. But this is about relentless psychological warfare, wearing the victim down.
Yeah, clearly.
Because just 2 weeks after that cleanup, the signed agreement, the neighbor gets a letter from guess who?
The relative at City Hall.
You got it, the complaint.
Yeah.
That the neighbor still hasn't cleaned up the mess, and now they're demanding he be fined.
Fined? For what? He just cleaned it. He has proof.
They're demanding a $12,000 fine.
$12,000. This is insane.
Utterly. And when the clerk comes to inspect, the neighbor's construction site is totally shut down by this point, right? But magically, the Styrofoam trail has reappeared, more fresh piles of beads.
It's so blatant. How can they keep getting away with it?
Because the system, or at least that part of it, is complicit. It just raises this huge question, doesn't it? How many times can you hit someone with the same fake evidence before someone, anyone, says, hang on a minute?
Yeah, at what point does the pattern become undeniable, even if you're trying to look the other way?
Exactly. When does the system's own credibility just collapse under the weight of such obvious abuse?
And you thought that was the end.
Yeah.
No. 6 months later, another complaint. From the teacher wife this time.
Oh, please. What now?
She claims the concrete wall.
Mm-hmm.
The second one. The one ordered by her husband's relative. The one made of reinforced concrete, standing perfectly strong.
Yeah.
She claims it's falling onto her property.
A solid concrete wall is just spontaneously falling over.
Apparently. Grounds for more harassment. But here's where her own direct, insidious actions really come out.
What does she do?
She wasn't just scheming with her husband and the cousin. No, she ran her own campaign. Quietly hired bricklayers.
To do what? Fix the non-existent problem. To damage the wall. On the far side, hidden from the neighbor's view. Deliberately. Premeditated vandalism.
She paid people to damage the wall so she could complain about it.
That's exactly what it looks like. Creates the problem, then goes straight to the local building authority, this time not the cousin's department, files a complaint.
Right.
Wall's unstable, dangerous, needs to be demolished, force the neighbors to tear it down.
Unbelievable. Did it work?
Thankfully, no. This time, the building authority wasn't compromised. They operated objectively, sent an independent inspector, and refused to order the demolition. The wall was fine. It's still standing. Kind of a monument, really, to this whole bizarre, corrupt collaboration.
Wow. A small win for the victims, finally. But she didn't stop there, did she?
Not a chance. She then launched this full-on smear campaign against the neighbors, trying to turn the whole town against them.
Cow.
Every trick in the book. Fabricating rumors, twisting facts, planting malicious gossip, making them seem like the problem, isolating them, making sure they had no allies, nowhere to turn.
So deliberate character assassination on top of everything else.
Exactly. And that, unfortunately, is where the story stands right now. It's ongoing. The victims are still living through this.
Wow. Okay. Let's step back then. What does this all mean? What are the takeaways here?
Well, connecting it to the bigger picture, it really forces you to ask some hard questions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What does a story like this say about any society where this kind of stuff, corruption, favoritism, blatant gaslighting, isn't just happening, but seems to be rewarded?
Yeah.
And the victim ends up punished, isolated. It's not just bad neighbors, right? It shows how these systemic weaknesses, when exploited by people with zero ethical boundaries, they can just tear a community apart.
And the stolen public land just becomes accepted. Cemented by a wall the victims were forced to build.
Seems that way. What does that do to a community's trust? When something that belongs to everyone is just taken and the system helps make it permanent?
It's deeply unsettling. And it brings me back to the teacher. I mean, seriously. This is someone shaping young minds, teaching kids about right and wrong. Yet she's involved in, lying, cheating, stealing, actively trying to harm people through deceit. So I have to ask you, our listener, directly. Would you trust your kids with her? Their moral development, their sense of justice? Can someone who behaves like this in private truly instill positive values?
It's a tough question, a really important one.
It really is. And we genuinely want to know what you think. Please drop your thoughts in the comments. We're really curious to hear your take on this.
Absolutely. And look, if this story resonates because you've had your own nightmare neighbor situation, please share those stories with us too.
Yeah.
You never know. Your experience might shed light on similar patterns, maybe even become part of a future deep dive. These stories matter.
They really do. So this was episode 10 of the Deep Dive. And something tells me this story ain't over yet.
Feels that way.
Until next time, stay sane out there, stay alert, and definitely don't trust anyone who offers to help you build a fence. Seems like sound advice after this.
Probably wise.
And hey, if you found this deep dive as, fascinating and frankly infuriating as we did, please do us a favor. Subscribe, like it, maybe share it with a friend who appreciates a truly wild, true story.
Yeah, definitely share it.
And leave us that comment. We love hearing from you. We read them all, and it really helps us know what resonates. Thanks for tuning in.